Thank you. I appreciate that.
So have you changed your mind about retiring then?
Nope. That was, unfortunately, that was the last one. It'll have to be an L on my record. But, you know, I left it all in there, and I felt like I did everything I needed to do to win that fight. And it just, unfortunately, everybody didn't see it that way.
It looked like you thought that, you know, when the judge's decision was being read, that you had done enough. How were you scoring it? What was your corner telling you? What rounds did you think you took?
Well, you know, the first round, I mean, it was almost finished, real close, and you know, I thought that was obviously a 10-8 round, but you never know, which is why I wanted to, you know, I thought I won the first 2 rounds. He won the 3rd and 4th, and I wanted to make sure I went out and won the 5th, and I felt like I did that. Went out and took him down, landed some decent shots on him. You know, he honestly, I didn't feel hurt once in the whole fight from anything. He with the exception of one leg kick that hurt my thigh a little bit. That was about the only thing I felt in the fight. You know, it was unfortunate. And obviously, by looking at him, he felt some of the shots that I hit him with. So it was, I don't know, I'm just real frustrated. I'd have to go home and watch it again to really be a little more educated talking to you guys about it, but that's how I was thinking. That's what was going through my head during the fight. I wanted to make sure that just in case I didn't want to end up with a draw, I wanted to make sure I won the fight and wanted to win that 5th round.
So with knowing you felt that way, I mean, do you walk away from the sport with like a bitter taste in your mouth of how it went tonight, or you know, are you just happy with everything that you've done and accomplished over the course of your career?
I don't know. I feel like you maybe have to ask me that in a few days. But I feel like I before this fight, I've accomplished enough in the sport and was satisfied with that. But obviously, there was one more thing I wanted to do, and really worked my ass off during training camp and thought I was ready to get it done. And you know, felt, yeah, I'm a little frustrated that feeling like I did get it done and didn't get credit for it, I guess. You know, but like I said, it is what it is now. There's no change in that, I don't think. And you know, I just got to live with it.
And I know you never, at this point, when it came to the rematch, it seemed there wasn't anything personal towards Michael on your end, but he gave, you know, a lot of credit to you after the fight. What do you just feel about him now at this point after competing against him twice and then it going the way it did tonight?
Yeah, I don't know, about the same. I never hated him before, you know. It's just a guy that I would probably not want to hang out with, and I feel the same now. I didn't really hear what he said afterwards. You know, and I've said it before the fight that I respect him as a person and as a fighter. You know, he's just not a guy I'd want to hang out with, and it's the same. I mean, I'd buy him a beer, but you know, it's not a guy that I'd call to go hang out with, and he's just not my style.
Yeah, and you know, a long career, maybe way too soon to ask you this, but can you pick out, you know, some of the top moments you've had, or just anything that comes to mind?
Not this one, I guess, but I don't know. There's a few. Probably winning the 2nd Pride belt would be on the top, along with winning a tournament a long time ago, the 32-man tournament that I won, the King of Kings tournament. So those are probably 2 of the toughest nights of fighting I've had. And yeah, I don't know. I just I'd have to look back now. I really haven't spent much time, especially in this training camp, knowing that it was my last fight. I didn't spend much time soaking in that this is my last time doing things. I wanted to focus on making sure that I got prepared and didn't want to get emotional about it. But, you know, it's just, yeah, I'm just a little disappointed. Not in myself, but just how it went. You know, I feel like I spent every bit of energy I had and left everything in there. So I'm completely satisfied with what I did tonight.
Hi, Dan, in the back here. Were you all surprised by Bissing's game plan? Because it seemed, for the majority of the fight, they were circling towards your power hand.
Yeah, I thought he was circling both ways. I was actually surprised that he was coming forward, you know, and pressuring me. I thought I was going to have to do that, and you know, I was a little surprised, and I have to give him props for having the balls to do that, stand in front of me, and he did a good job, you know, except for the few times that I dropped him. But, you know, he kept active, I guess, a lot more active than I did a couple of the rounds. You know, but I was surprised with his game plan, I guess.
Okay, and you were saying you weren't thinking about retiring, like post-retirement during your camp. Has it kind of sunk in now that it's all? I know we're literally only less than an hour away from the fight, but has it kind of sunk in now that it's all over, the long illustrious career is over?
Not quite. You know, I think I'm still frustrated with the fight itself, and you know, but yeah, I think it's more frustrating to me knowing that you know, that was the last time, and I won't be able to make up for that loss or whatever. You know, it's I knew there was a possibility of losing in any fight, but you know, it's just more frustrating when you feel like you did enough out there to win, and it didn't go your way, and you know, and then that was the last one. So you know, it is what it is. I'll be able to live with it. A beer will help.
Did you expect him to be so prone to the hate after what happened last time?
Yeah, with certain things, maybe not the inside leg kick thing. I do that anyway, just to kind of break up the action a little bit. Yeah, I was surprised. I knew watching fights of his, even recently, you know, he circles both ways, but he still, you know, makes a mistake of circling the wrong way sometimes. You know, and I know he throws his lead leg kick quite a bit now, different than what he used to. None of that really bothered me. It just kind of kept me a little bit away sometimes and kept him looking a little more active, you know, but I just felt like I was waiting and picking my shot and waiting for the right time. And the first couple of rounds, I did a pretty good job. I landed it pretty good in the fifth round also. You know, didn't wobble him too bad, but I know that he felt it pretty good a couple times. But, yeah, I don't know. He drops his hands a lot. When I've watched other guys do the same exact thing, they just didn't quite hit him as hard.
And I know you said previously, you know, moving beyond your fighting career, you would like to stay with the UFC in some sort of capacity behind the scenes.
Yes.
Do you think that's a possibility? Has anyone hinted to you that they'd be willing to give you that opportunity?
I don't know. We'll see. I told Dana I'd be calling him for a job pretty quick, so we'll see what happens.
Any idea what you would like to do?
Who knows? You know, just any type of spokesperson, and I don't know. We'll see.
And just final thing for me, do you ever imagine, or was it planned that you'd be the final strike of your career would be Rolling Thunder?
No, I didn't. That wasn't planned at all. I just thought I'd have fun with it, and didn't think he was going to engage in the last few seconds. So I just kind of went at him and tried something different for fun.
Dan, over here.
Yep.
When you landed the two knockdown shots in the first and second, did it ever creep in your mind, hey, I could retire champion right now? What were your thoughts when you landed both of those knockdowns?
Actually, the first time I knocked him down, it flashed into my head about the first fight, and you know, I think I kind of paused and went in a little bit more controlled rather than jumping in the air and trying to punch him again. Similar to the finish in the first fight I had with him, and you know, I just he wasn't quite finished enough, and I didn't get there soon enough, and didn't land another follow-up punch good enough. You know, I hit him a couple more times, but just not square on the ground. And you know, to answer your question, it didn't go in through my head right then. I knew that I had him hurt. I tried to finish him for a little bit, and then I decided just to pick my shots and pace myself a little bit, and you know, make sure I wasn't using all my cardio in the first round.
Dan, UFC 17, 1998, Carlos Newton, Alan Goes. It's been a long, long road, nearly 2 decades. Can you just reflect for us on You're leaving the sport now. Where do you think it is right now, and where do you think it needs to go?
When I first started in it, obviously it wasn't thought as a sport by most people, and it's really evolved into what it is now. It's a true, one of the toughest, probably the toughest sport out there to do. And, I think there's no other sport that other professional athletes respect more than MMA fighters and love the sport and know how tough it is. And, it's evolved into that. And with all these young fighters doing it at a young age, and it's just something that has been a blessing for me to be able to witness from as a competitor for the last 19, 20 years and see where it's gone from almost nothing to where it is now, and it's still on the upswing. It's going to keep going upward, and I can't wait to see where it goes in the next 10 years. And that's why I really am going to be a part of MMA still.
Okay. So when people retire, they have a retirement plan. Some people do golf or some other sport. How are you thinking about spending your days now?
Same as I do when I'm not training, just my Uber job, driving my kids around. 4 kids and keeps you busy, and I'm just looking forward to spending a little bit more quality time with them and not being so tired all the time doing it.
Dan over here. Oh, sorry. What is it that you will miss most about being a professional fighter? What part of the process will you miss more than anything else?
Just the competition and testing myself in that way. Just there's no bigger test physically, mentally than this, in anything in life. And it's I think the competition that I'll miss. Definitely not the preparation, but the competition I'll miss. So, win or lose, I always learn something from fights, but I always prefer to win. But just the competition I'm going to miss.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.